Today we're going to show you what a batch file is. A batch file consists of lines of code called DOS, which run on Windows. You open up your command prompt. This is obviously command prompt, and you type help. This brings up a bunch of different codes, such as goto, which directs the Windows command, find, which search for text, help, which provides help for you, recover, which will bring back information, shutdown, which will shut down your computer. As you can see, when I type into CMD, the prompt shows the main commands up here that will help us mess up the computer. So today I'm going to explain to you how to make my favorite batch file, which would be the shutdown program. It starts by opening up your notepad and typing up shutdown -F and -S. Then you save it as whatever you want, just not shutdown, because if you name it shutdown, it won't run the program. .bat, and then you save it. It will create it right there, and if you click on it, it says Windows will shut down in less than a minute. Now you might be freaking out at this point, but the way to make it stop is type in run, and then type in shutdown -A, and -A means to abort. -S means to shut down, and -F means to run the function. -T is your time, such as if you put 900, it'll shut down in 15 minutes, and -C is your comment, like input whatever you want inside of semicolons. You save it again, and if you run it, it'll shut down in 15 minutes. All you have to do now is go back to run, type in shutdown -A, and you're all good. The alternative way to creating the shutdown program is going by right-clicking on your desktop, going to New, and going to Shortcut. You're typing in the exact same code that you would type into a notepad, such as -S, -T, 900, -C, and then whatever you want inside of it. This one you can name shutdown because it's not a batch file. It's just a shortcut. So now you run it. Does the same thing. And then you go back to run and shutdown -A. All done. My persona going. So another one of the batch files that I like to make is called the fork bomb. Start by opening Notepad, and you first type in echo off, which makes it so it won't open up the same one multiple times. Then you type by putting semicolon start, and that starts the file to run. Then you type in start again, and then your test bat, which will open up the batch file again. Then you type in go to start. So it'll loop and start it, and then it'll go back to start and start it, and then it'll go back to start and start it, which will loop it and open it up forever. The name of the file is test.bat. We're not going to run this one because if you run it, there's no coming back. Your computer will be so slow you're running at 100% CPU, and that's not good.
Okay, here we are again. We're going to try and disable Task Manager. To start off, we're going to need the registry editor code. So what we're going to do here is in Notepad we're going to have @echo_off to start off any DOS program. Then we have our line of code here, which is adding a policy to the registry and setting it to true for disable Task Manager. And then I just added pause so we can see, because it's disabled by our administrator right now. But if you don't have administrative rights or they're not enforcing that policy, you should be fine. You're just going to save it, run it. Obviously, it's disabled by our administrator. If it wasn't disabled, it would work efficiently. And if you wanted to re-enable it, you would go back into Notepad, you would go through the code, and you'll see this one. That's pretty much setting it to true at the moment. But if you change that to 0, you save it, rerun it, and that would re-enable it.
Another one to build off of the task manager kill is to put a task kill on the task manager disable, which is taking off your explorer.exe, which will make it so you can't do anything, and it'll disable task manager, which is the only way to bring it back. The new term, which is the /im, actually, if you open up your command prompt and type in help task kill and go up, it sets the image name and specifies the image name can be processed to be terminated, and it terminates explorer.exe, which when you do that, it takes everything and wipes it off the screen, and now they wouldn't be able to open Task Manager back up. And there you go. The very last batch file I'm going to talk about is a batch file that creates a large amount of files. You start off with your echo off as usual, and then you don't need echo awesome. And then you do current directory, which will make it keep going, and you put it to your desktop, so it'll load to the desktop every time. And then you name your file, which is mkdri A1, and then you loop to open that back up, and then the pause is actually for the task manager, so you could see if you have an error, and then it'll go back to loop, and I'll save that, and I'll run it. And as you can see, it creates a file. It only created one because we have it set to that. And as you see, it says this. It says that the path is already specified, but it isn't really. It just creates another one. So if you do mkdir A1 and then save, should open 2, which it did, A and A1. The last thing we're also going to talk about is putting a batch file on startup. But you can't do it on these computers because the admin does not allow you to. But you could take your batch file, such as the shutdown batch file, and you just go over to your files. You go to my computer, and you go to the awesome space. Go to your users, and then it would have everyone who uses it. And if you go into their each individual files, it should have a file that says startup in it. But these computers do not, so it will not work.